Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. A newly discovered institutional grade report from banking giant HSBC labels the XRP ledger as a potential game changer that could help cut across corporate boundaries and existing market structures. The report is the latest in the company's Game Changer series and analyzes how distributed ledger technology, or DLT, could lower costs and risks in the world of finance. It cites the XRP ledger as a compelling application for DLT in the capital markets that central banks could use to power real-time transactions. It says, and I do quote, DLT can streamline end-to-end value transfers, reducing costs, operational risks, and settlement periods. For example, Ripple's XRP ledger provides a real-time cross-border settlements using tokens that represent central bank currencies, end quote. As for the potential impact of DLT as a whole, the report cites a long list of potential applications for the emerging technology. It says, DLT's ability to establish a single version of the truth allows it to cut across a corporate boundary and existing market structures. One of the most obvious applications for DLT is a single asset register for an asset manager or broker-dealer. And it kind of continues going on, so I won't read any further. How do I even put this into words? Here's the actual article, or rather the blog that they made right here. It goes on for quite a long amount of time. They mention the word Ripple, XRP, and XRapid several times throughout the discussion. What I found the most interesting through all of this, or rather the last year, we know that the people from Ripple have acquired a number of new partnerships, but I still feel like I'm waiting for some type of very significant news. That's not negative or positive, regardless of how I might have said it. For those of you that remember, I still remember, sometime last year, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, stated that by the end of this year, that dozens of banks would be using XRP to send payments across borders, around the world, whatever sentence he actually used. And I mentioned last year that I needed to see some type of a proof, something, if you will. Even this article right here, which is also quite interesting because I typed in HSBC Ripple, and the first thing that popped up, it says HSBC executive and Swift board member join Ripple to support continued global growth. This is from April 2016. We get a lot of really great news from Ripple, or about institutions or companies or mega banks who are praising them in some sort of way. There was also an article that came out, I think, at the beginning of this year or the end of last year. I want to say it was Fortune or Bloomberg, and they were talking about the benefits of this and how the many partnerships they had. But as of now, I don't know what the word is. I think I'm just still waiting. I hope that as we are very close to October now, October, November, December, 3 months left in the year, that something transpires or some type of news comes out. I still think slightly that a lot of the news that we've been getting, or lack thereof, from everyone, I'm sure you remember 2017 was a great year for news because just about every single coin company, every single project had tons of news every single day. But the last 2018, as prices went down, the news kind of dried up as far as the mega tsunami of news. And then sometime this year as well, as prices were going up, we were started to receive a bit more news of the things that were going on within the cryptocurrency space. But since then, we haven't really heard that much. So I guess my closing thought on this entire thing is, I wonder if we're going to hear about the dozens of banks who are going to be using XRP or XRapid by the end of this year, like Garlinghouse said, simply because I still feel like it's you have to show people that your project is moving forward, and not just like, it's great, wonderful news to get news all the time, that Ripple has, 15 new partners, 35 new partners, but at least one would assume dozens, that is at least 24 banks out of the 250 that they have partnered with should be using XRP by the end of this year. But anyway, it's always fascinating in its own way to also see a gigantic mega bank even mentioning it. This is what I also mentioned before a lot of other times. Whenever we saw any bank mentioning, they usually would only use the word blockchain. But whenever they use the word Bitcoin, I said they're clearly using it in some sort of back end, or maybe they're accumulating it. Maybe they plan on using it sometime in the future. But the fact that they use the actual word of it lets me know that they are probably interested and are probably into it as well. And on that note, let's move on. Here's a really fascinating one, and it ties exactly into what we were talking about on Tuesday and Wednesday. New research this week has added to suspicions that future settlements dates end up manipulating the price of Bitcoin, according to findings from Arcane Research, reported by Norwegian crypto news outlet Cryptografen on the 24th of September. CME Group's Bitcoin futures settlement dates, in particular, appeared to negatively influence Bitcoin markets, analyzing price behavior from January 2018 to August 2019. The company found that 75% of the times immediately before the CME issued payouts, Bitcoin fell. CME was one of the first operations to launch Bitcoin futures in December 2017. Since then, interest has peaked, with this year seeing frequent all-time highs for trading volume. Just a little bit of a clear up for those of you who may not really understand exactly what I'm talking about. We have something that has launched with the New York Stock Exchange called Bitcoin futures, but they are physical, i.e. when people are trading contracts back and forth, whoever wins, whoever got the closest to the number for the futures, the future price of Bitcoin, they are then paid out in Bitcoin. What we saw at the end of 2017 was that the CME Group, I think the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, launched their own Bitcoin futures, but it would be settled in paper money, fiat, back and forth. Every single 75% of the time, that one of the contracts was just about to end, was a day or two before ending, or the week before it ended, Bitcoin's price dropped. And I said, it's a little weird that it keeps happening over and over and over. And I remember being not frustrated, but I made sure to mention that it seemed like a heavy amount of manipulation, because even sometimes if Bitcoin's price was above the actual price of the futures, people kept on saying that the prices had to match each other, i.e. if Bitcoin was, let's say 10,000 for easy number, and the futures had it expired at 9,000, Bitcoin would drop, and people kept on saying, well, the futures are just saying like the price that it's going to be in the future. And I'm like, that's not how futures markets work. It's clearly some type of, in my opinion, manipulative acts to bring the price of Bitcoin down. Arcane published the numbers just hours before Bitcoin nosedived 15%, bottoming out at $8,000. That event happened to occur days before a major settlement date. On Friday, 50% of open interest in Bitcoin operations is set to expire. I said, remember that almost said the video that I made in the middle of the week, where I was explaining the 19 events that had taken place just during that 24-hour period. And I said, towards the end of it, I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the CME futures were getting ready to expire, because every single time that they've expired before, Bitcoin's price has fallen down. And this is what's also slightly led me to believe that if the futures from CME Group are about to expire as well, I believe today, Bitcoin could potentially also see another price dive of some sort of way. This week's timing is also conspicuous following the launch of a new futures product from institutional trading platform known as Bakkt. Despite volumes being low, executives have already claimed the effectiveness of the product in helping markets with price discovery. According to the company on social media, the unexpected drop in Bitcoin's price was a sign of the market finding its true value. I have believed, and I'm going to continue to believe this for a very long time. It's one thing if I'm sitting in the corner with my tin hat by myself, but when you have actual research companies, keeping in mind, there's an enormous, a gigantimous, that's not a word, huge amount of interest in the cryptocurrency space. The people who are thinking of getting into the markets and already in the markets are millionaires, multimillionaires on their way to being billionaires, if not billion-dollar companies. They make sure to do an enormous amount of research to see exactly when they should get into the market, how they can get into the market, and exactly which price point they should be getting into. I'm fairly certain in my own eyes, in my heart, if Bitcoin is currently floating around $8,000 and there are indications that within the next year or two, mathematically that Bitcoin could be worth $100,000, i.e., you put $10 million into Bitcoin, something, whatever, and it goes up to 100,000, you have made $100 million. That's a huge incentive to be able to figure out a way to swing the market in your favor. For Arcane, however, such a price behavior is highly suspect. They said, the figures thus support a hypothesis that the Bitcoin price is manipulated in advance of CME settlement. It added, however, the figures do not say anything about deliberate manipulation or, for example, only a result of investors' strategy of hedging. A lot of things within the cryptocurrency space, especially since the end of 2017, have seemed oddly, deliberately timed and placed. Remember at the end, remember at the beginning of 2018, where every single week, there was another country that came forward and said, yeah, we're going to ban Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's not good. And the next week it was another one. And after like the 6th or 7th week, I said, okay, I get it. You know, maybe 3 in a row. Maybe they were just all scared. Maybe they were all on the telephone together discussing it. But I think after the 14th country had come forward talking about banning and or restricting Bitcoin, it was fairly obvious. Here's the actual chart right here from them. For those of you not looking at the screen, it looks a little manipulaty. Every single time that a contract had ended, Bitcoin was in the red, except for maybe 5 times where Bitcoin had actually gone up around 1.9%, and one time it had gone up over 2%. Still a bit odd that every single time, almost every single time, that the futures contracts had ended, Bitcoin for some reason slammed down multiple times. The people dealing in fiat currencies has nothing to do with the actual movement of physical Bitcoin. People buying, selling, and trading, I can't even think of another thing. Unless they're trading in the actual asset themselves, they're not dealing in the actual cryptocurrency or the asset. I feel like, and stay with me on this one, we're probably going to see this for quite a long amount of time. A lot of people who are late to the party are trying to put on their costumes, and they're trying to make sure that they have as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. It's their fault that they're late. However, we all in some ways have to suffer. This is going to continue. I think as long as there's a situation where there are Bitcoin floating around out there, and there are wealthy individuals who would like to acquire more, we're probably going to see a situation where these drops keep happening, and then the price shoots up in some other day, and then the price goes down, and the price shoots back up, and then the price goes back down. Anyway, it's nice to be, it's nice for my suspicions to be confirmed, because also in 2018, there were a number of days where we had very long discussions about the manipulation in the market. People told me I was crazy, I was overthinking it. No, if this isn't the first institution or company to actually do research into this. Okay, never mind. Something passed by the window. I thought it was a ghost. It's just a person. Anyway, I'm sure we're going to get more news about this as time goes on. And let's move on. Next up, Puerto Rico-based Medici Bank, founded by a direct descendant of the Italian Medici dynasty, will launch a private beta testing of their cryptocurrency exchange in October. Medici Bank will be piloting digital onboarding procedures, application programming interface, and web portals with 5 global firms, 2 or 3 of which represent crypto businesses. This was reported by CoinDesk. Medici Bank CEO Ed Boyle elaborated that those firms are expected to demonstrate the bank's ability to scale to accommodate trading volumes. According to the report, Boyle pointed out the high-performance nature of crypto-related companies, revealing that the bank's plans have up to a third or half of its entire business be represented represented by crypto clients. According to Boyle, Medici Bank joins the short list of fewer than 10 crypto-friendly banks around the globe. That is not a lot. The bank expects its full launch in Q1 of 2020, targeting $1 billion in total deposits and assets under management within 3 years, the report notes. There aren't many crypto-friendly banks. One can only assume why. I saw it floating around a couple of websites talking about Medici actually launching their cryptocurrency trading service platform. As I believe they are also a lending platform, we will probably, no confirmation, we will probably hear by the beginning of 2020 when they do launch that they're also going to have a crypto, not lending, what's it called? Some type of a dividend, some type of a return, some type of a yearly interest rate on the amount of cryptocurrencies that you can make. This is a very big thing that we see happening multiple times per week. Anyway, that's the Medici private crypto bank account exchange news for today. Yeah. Next up, online lender SoFi announced its crypto trading platform will go live next Tuesday. Bitcoin, Ether, and Litecoin will be the first digital assets available to trade on its SoFi investment platform. CEO Anthony Noto told Fortune in an interview published on Wednesday. With the new platform, SoFi joins a number of digital-first trading firms, including eToro and Robinhood, to enter the crypto market. Noto said, cryptocurrency trading option has been long requested by the firm's clients. The firm targets millennial investors through its student loan consolidation service. Coinbase was tapped to provide the firm's crypto liquidity. As previously announced in February, the partnership will allow SoFi customers to track crypto price movements. The firm says it hopes to become registered in all 50 states within a few months, noting that trading will not be available, you already know where, will not be available in New York or New Jersey at launch. Kind of cool. Still wondering how many of these are actually going to be around in the next 3 to 4 years. Just to note this, I don't know any of these people. I'm not affiliated with and or am not being paid by any of these companies. Just to throw that information out there for those of you who are relatively new to the channel. Everyone seems to be launching some type of a cryptocurrency trading, lending, buying, selling, over-the-counter platform, cryptocurrency trading desk type thing. We don't need 300 of them the same exact way that we do not need 2,000 cryptocurrencies at the moment. In a couple of years, yeah, sure. We'll definitely need that many, but not right now. I don't even think I know any... No, I don't think I know anyone who even uses SoFi or even heard of SoFi. But... everyone's trying to make their mark. This was also everywhere. Remember those days where sometimes we'll have like a news article and it'll be on like one website? And then sometimes we'll have like another news article and it's on like 15 different websites. And I go, okay, sure. So for those of you who are interested, that is the SoFi Bitcoin Ether Litecoin trading news for today. Here's the actual thing right here from Fortune. It says SoFi launches crypto trading with 3 digital currencies. To kind of finish things off, the number of Bitcoin Lightning Network nodes has reached 10,000 for the first time, according to the real-time Lightning Network site 1ML. According to 1ML, the number of nodes on the Lightning Network has grown by 3.17% over the past 30 days, to reach a record high of 10,003 network nodes at press time. At the same time, the number of nodes with active channels is 5,900 out of a total 36,246 channels at press time, with just a 0.34% growth over the past month. The Lightning Network is a second-layer blockchain protocol designed to provide high-speed transactions for Bitcoin. As the person behind the LNBIG entity that controls over 40% of the Lightning Network capacity told industry-focused media outlet The Block, they maintain statistics of all local balances which are hidden from public view. They explain that Lightning Network explorers cannot know who created channels and which side Bitcoin were used. Oh yeah, just a little thing. let me know how you say Bitcoin plural, like you personally. I was raised in a world where Bitcoin and Bitcoin are singular and plural, i.e., that man has 15 Bitcoin. And I wonder how frequent it is for people to say, that lady has 8 Bitcoins. I always wonder, because I see it in certain articles and I dismiss the S. Anyway, when asked about what features should be added to the Lightning Network to attract more Bitcoin users, the speaker singled out atomic multipath payments, which will purportedly play a big role in Bitcoin automated teller machines, or ATMs. So, this year, we have not heard an enormous amount about the Bitcoin Lightning Network. 2018 was like the it year for the Lightning Network. By the middle of the year, there was so much support for it, and I also myself believed and assumed, with all this newfound support and all this new love that we had for the Lightning Network, I assumed that major institutions would start coming out of the woodworks to talk about how much they liked it, how much they planned on using it, and I'm still thinking that I'm certain that some major institution behind the scenes is definitely trying to make it work for them. And the reason I say that is simply because the Lightning Network went from, I think it was like 200 nodes to I think like 1,500 over the course of a week. Unless somebody really loves micropayments, it was probably a mega institution. We may never even know exactly who they officially were. I still think also that the people from Spedin, what was the other one? Spedin, Flexa, and there was another one that was trying to get all the companies to be able to accept Bitcoin. One of them has to be trying to do something behind the scenes, because the idea is, and I mean we know for a fact, that Bitcoin itself is slow, and therefore the Lightning Network could provide quicker payments as people are trying to make them, going about their daily busy lives. Anyway, the point being, it's nice to see that the Lightning Network is still expanding, even though we don't hear about it as much. The entire focus right now just seems to be on getting Bitcoin's price back up once again. But yeah, that's the Lightning Network. I mean, when was the last time anyone heard the word SegWit? We never hear about SegWit anymore, even though it's still being used. I think a large part of the network is actually dealing with SegWit transactions, but Lightning Network seems to be the thing that everyone is focusing on, at least at the moment. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, there we go, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mill Weezy, Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas Renault, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Krypton Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangiela, Vodi, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, and yes to crypto. One breath. Look at me. Market still going sideways. Bitcoin, it has dropped by $9. I mean, it says down 5% over the last 24 hours, but it was floating around 8,000 for a good hour or two. Don't be shocked. Do not be shocked at all if at the end or the expiration of the current CME Bitcoin futures, that Bitcoin once again drops. A lot of manipulation going on, but to be fair, and I mean in the fairest way possible, there's manipulation in every single market: the gold market, the silver market, the real estate market. For those of you who didn't know that, everything, the stock market, it's all manipulated in some sort of way. People always try to figure out a way to make things easier for them and their friends. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most definitely be talking to you all soon. See you.